They're our favorite strangers to spy on. But can these vicious sharks exist if the cameras aren't rolling? Mom life to trouble with the law. Here's what these Big Brother champs are up to now. Back when Eddie McGee played Big Brother on the show's debut season, it was an entirely different game. America used to vote for who to evict from the house, when that power is now left up to the house guests or jury themselves. McGee won Season 1, but as he told Entertainment Weekly 2 decades later, "My show was like watching paint drying, man. It was terrible from what I heard. I don't know. I never watched it." Still, McGee was popular enough to leverage his Big Brother fame into a legitimate acting career. He's since appeared on shows like 911, Hunters, Chicago Med, and many more. He confessed to EW that he's grateful to Big Brother for giving him his start, adding, "I have the acting career I have now because of it. I will never deny where I'm from, and I know I come from reality TV." Big Brother was quickly retooled for Season 2, and winner Dr. Will Kirby took full advantage of the new format, leaning into a villainous, scheming persona. It was enough to earn him a prize of $500,000. 20 years later, he explained to Entertainment Weekly, "It was my goal to entertain the viewers, and I feel like I thoroughly accomplished that endeavor."
The smartest thing I've done in this entire game was to falsely befriend Nicole.
Kirby returned for Big Brother 7, an all-star season, losing out on a back-to-back win thanks to the stellar gameplay of Mike "Boogie" Malin. These days, Kirby still works as a dermatologist, but the year after he won Big Brother, he hosted a dating show called Love Shack, voiced an episode of Robot Chicken, and made a cameo on the Disney Plus series The Book of Boba Fett in 2022. When Jun Song won Big Brother 4, she was surprised to see that her fellow house guests weren't excited for her, but Song's willingness to throw anyone under the bus made her a Big Brother legend. As one fan on Reddit posted to the platform, "She is the embodiment of the player that isn't there to make friends. She came to win, at any cost."
They are not happy that we won, and I don't think they wanted to vote for either of us in all honesty, and they had to.
Since Song won the game, she told Entertainment Weekly that she's primarily a single mother and a content marketer. She explained, "My love life is pretty much in a do not resuscitate state, but I've never been more successful professionally." Mike "Boogie" Malin first competed on the second season of Big Brother, and he returned for Big Brother 7, cast with all returning players. This time, Malin claimed the top prize, having backstabbed his way to the end. He told Entertainment Weekly at the time, "Dr. Will Kirby and I are very adept in providing entertaining television. That show doesn't work well when people sit around and are nice." Since the show, Malin was arrested for a DUI in 2020, to which he pled guilty. He was previously arrested in 2019 for stalking Kirby, his former Big Brother counterpart. He was found guilty the following year and sentenced to 2 years of probation. These days, Malin can be booked on Cameo, where he describes himself as a, quote, "washed-up reality guy." Big Brother 8 featured family members in the house together. Evil Dick Donato played alongside his daughter Danielle, and they tore through the competition, with Dick snagging the win.
If anybody doesn't know who I am, Evil Dick from Big Brother 8, the only winner here.
He returned for Season 13, but he left early. A few years later, on Couples Therapy, Donato revealed he was removed from Big Brother because of an HIV diagnosis. He told people, "Look, I get that I'm a reality show villain, but for better or for worse, I have a platform, and I decided that it was time to just publicly say what I'm dealing with." Season 10 gave us champ Dan Gheesling, widely considered to be one of the show's best ever players. He returned 4 years later as a coach on Big Brother 14, ultimately entering the game as a player. He almost won the whole thing a second time, but ultimately lost out to Ian Terry. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly years after his last appearance on the show, Gheesling shared, "I am 100% a family man now. Any free time I have, I try to free up to spend with my kids." He also makes a living as a Twitch streamer, playing video games and chatting several times a week. Jordan Lloyd won Season 11, but her biggest contribution might just be her high-profile showmance with fellow contestant Jeff Schroeder. Having gotten together during their season, they've stayed together ever since. She told Entertainment Weekly that she was proud of the way she played, recalling, "I won those last challenges when I needed to. It's nice when people think you're an underdog the whole time, but then you pull out a win."
It's just too good to be true. Or maybe it's meant to be.
Lloyd returned for Big Brother 13, but she didn't win again. She also told EW that she struggled after her TV days with vicious online haters. These days, Lloyd is focused on raising a family with Schroeder. They also have a podcast called Together Mess. Rachel Reilly first competed on season 12, and a reality TV legend was born. She only came in 9th place. But when she returned to compete the following year, Reilly went all the way to the end. As she recalled to Entertainment Weekly, my proudest moments were when I was able to challenge myself to keep going, even when it was hard, when I was tired emotionally and physically, and when I just wanted to give up. After Big Brother, Reilly competed on The Amazing Race twice. She won Snake in the Grass, and she also competed on The Traitors, and ultimately lost to Survivor vet Cirie Fields, who went on to join the cast of Big Brother 25. Season 14 was packed with strong personalities. It would have been easy for someone like Ian Terry to slip under the radar. In fact, that's exactly what he did, surviving all the way to the end and beating Gheesling, his former coach. He told Entertainment Weekly, "The way I play, I tend to want to link up with strong social players and have them do a lot of the legwork for me socially. As a result, I get saved much more often than the average player would when in bad spots."
But I don't begrudge anyone for playing well.
Terry returned for season 22, the second All-Stars, but since then, Terry has moved on from the show and spends his time working as a consultant. Few people have rocked Big Brother the way Derrick Levasseur did in season 16. The former undercover cop hid his profession from his fellow Hess guests, and he managed to stay off the block the entire season. He explained to The Hollywood Reporter, "I'd rather win the game, be considered somewhat boring, and change my family's lives than make sure I give viewers a better show."
I'm playing to win the money and provide a better life for my wife and daughter.
These days, Levasseur now runs a private investigation firm. He's also a podcaster, with both a true crime podcast and a reality TV podcast. He also revealed that he launched a line of coffee called the Criminal Coffee Company. Steve Moses appeared on Big Brother 17. In a season full of big personalities, the quieter Moses was able to move along unnoticed, making his way to the very end. Shying away from postseason attention, Moses told Entertainment Weekly, "My edit helped me disappear into society more quickly."
I by no means was floating through the game. I was building layers of protection around myself and building the bridges that I would need for this half of the game.
After finishing college, Moses used his winnings to start a franchise of senior care consultants. He shared, "It's a really rewarding business because families usually come to us when they're at their low points, and it's awesome to work with them." Nicole Franzel won season 18 after first competing 2 years prior. She recalled on Instagram several years later in 2021, "I was cast as the quirky 21-year-old small-town girl with a big bun and glasses with a weird accent. I fell in love with the game as a little girl, and I became super good at it."
I held my record of the most days in this house. That is bad.
Franzel returned for season 22, the second All-Star season, but she was cut by Cody Calafiore, who went on to win. After Big Brother, Franzel linked up with fellow house guest Victor Arroyo. The couple competed on The Amazing Race and ultimately got married in 2021. They share their son Arrow together. The couple also has a podcast called Coco Caliente, where they cover reality shows. Cody Calafiore initially competed on Big Brother 16, landing in second place. He then returned for season 22's All-Stars, and this time, he won. While he spent his second place prize money quickly, this time he left his winnings untouched, telling Entertainment Weekly, "I didn't want to be stupid with the money because you just never know what curveballs life is going to throw at you."
It's really hard for me to contain how excited I am.
Calafiore hosts a podcast with Levasseur, works in real estate, and still coaches soccer. He also competed on The Traitors with fellow Big Brother winner Rachel Reilly. Watching Taylor Hale play Big Brother 24, it felt like she had more support on the internet than any contestant in show history. And she went on to become the first Black woman to take the top prize.
I came to this game to represent something bigger and to fight for Black women in the real world and in this house.
After her win, Hale capitalized on all the attention. Along with several brand deals, Hale landed a guest role on The Bold and the Beautiful, her mother's favorite soap opera. She told Pop Crave, "Being part of that set, being part of that production, it felt like I was honoring my mom, my grandma, my great-grandma, and all the things that they loved."